Hello friends, in this video I'll explain how to make money from crypto funding. This is one of the ways to earn from arbitrage with minimal risk. We'll break down what a funding trade is, how to find it, and how to profit from it. So watch the video till the end, give it a like and subscribe. Let's get started. Funding is a fee that traders pay each other on futures markets. If the funding is positive, long traders pay short traders. If the funding is negative, short traders pay long traders. This is done to balance supply and demand. Because if demand outweighs supply in one direction, it needs to be balanced. Markets need to remain in balance. That's why there is a tool like funding. It is charged every 8 hours and sometimes more frequently depending on market volatility. And we can earn these interest payments simply by holding a position. This is one of the most low-risk strategies in cryptocurrency arbitrage. Now I'll show you in simple terms how it works, and then we'll move on to the practical part. For this strategy to work, you need to buy a spot position and at the same time open a short if the funding rate is positive. So for example, we take some token for $100 and for the same $100 we need to short. And we are in a delta neutral position. In other words, it doesn't matter to us what happens to the price. The main thing for us is to earn the funding, which is paid out every 8 hours. And accordingly, the larger your position, the more free USDT you have invested in this trade, the more you will earn, because funding is paid out as a percentage. And you might ask me, where do you find this funding? How do you find it? Where do you look for it? What services do you personally use? I'll tell you, of course, it's the Arbitrage Scanner. They have their own funding scanner, so to speak. We go to Arbitrage products and there is funding rates. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. You go here and you'll see the funding rates on different exchanges for different tokens. You can sort by the maximum spread and see which exchanges have funding. I found an interesting token called VIT, and it has a very high funding rate on the KuCoin exchange, positive at plus 0.5329. That's a very good funding rate. It's a very juicy funding and we can take advantage of it. There is also negative funding. In the next video, we'll discuss how to make money from negative funding. Today, we'll look at how to profit from positive funding. We see the KuCoin exchange, click on funding and go to the KuCoin exchange. On absolutely all exchanges that have futures markets, the funding rate is displayed. It's located right here at the top. As we understood from the beginning of the video, these are fees that traders pay each other to balance supply and demand. It is charged every 8 hours. And we can earn these little percentages. Also on KuCoin, it's convenient to view the funding history. So we click on funding, then click see more. And the funding history for this token opens up for us. We can see that the funding was often negative and now it's positive, so we can only collect these percentages. We can continue to hold the position, but as practice shows, it will most likely turn negative later and then it won't be profitable to keep the position. So we can just collect the funding and immediately close the position, earning the 0.5329% on our deposit. Now I'll show you an example of how to open the trade correctly. Let's say we have $2,000 and we want to earn this funding on those $2,000. What do we need to do? We need to short the token and at the same time buy the spot. That is for the same amount. Here you can choose the display mode in the settings and you select in tokens. Well, that's just easier for me. You can choose in USDT if you want, but it's easier for me in tokens. And for example, we round the price to 0.2 and enter 5,000 tokens. So 5,000 tokens with 5x leverage means we need $200 to open a position on this token. Since $200 with 5x leverage is $1,000, we need to buy $1,000 worth on spot. It doesn't matter at all which exchange you use to buy on spot. What's important is that we stay in a delta neutral position so that we have an open short and a spot position. That way, it doesn't matter where the price goes because we're in a delta neutral position and we'll only be collecting the funding. And let's say this token is traded on the MEXC exchange. So we go to the MEXC exchange. We do exactly the same thing here as we did on that other exchange on KuCoin, but this time we buy on spot on MEXC. We also enter 5,000 tokens. We need to have a delta neutral position. That is, we need to short 5,000 tokens and buy 5,000 tokens, and at the price of 0.002, that will be 1,000 USDT. So over there, we open the futures position for $200, but you also need to have margin. So it's not just that you have $200 in your account and that's it, you've opened the margin position for the full $200. There's a risk of liquidation, guys. So always make sure you have extra margin. That is, if you open a position for $200, you should also have another $200 sitting in your account just in case. Because if the price suddenly spikes, you could get liquidated and lose your $200. So that's also important to keep in mind. Actually, it's better not to use leverage at all. So you can open a position on futures for $1,000 and buy $1,000 worth on spot. This will be the safest option overall. After you've bought on spot and at the same time open the short on that token, do we just wait for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Here it shows the time when the funding will be deducted and we'll earn $5.33 from our position. You might say, yes, that's not much. But guys, this is one of the most low-risk strategies out there. You can earn steadily and calmly with it. Accordingly, if you have a large amount, you'll be able to earn even more. It all depends on the amount of USDT you have available, which you can put to work earning from funding. Again, the funding rate can be 1% or even higher. It all depends on how oversold or overbought the market is. Again, during times of high volatility like now when we have Trump, tariffs, all sorts of back and forth, the market is dropping and rising, we have excellent opportunities for arbitrage. So use this strategy to earn money. Plus, if the funding rate remains positive, you don't have to close your position after the term expires. Where the funding is credited, you don't have to close your position right away. You can continue to hold it and keep earning from that funding. Again, every 8 hours, that is 3 times a day, funding will either be credited or debited, and you can earn from this consistently and without risk. If you click here or hover your cursor, you'll see that the next funding will be negative. This means it will no longer be profitable for us to hold our short position since we will have to pay the funding. Therefore, after receiving the first funding payment, we close the short and sell the spot for this VIT token. You can find the link to the Arbitrage Scanner in the description of our YouTube channel profile. Click here and you'll find the link to the Arbitrage Scanner where you can track funding rates and look for profitable deals. We also have a Telegram channel, so make sure to subscribe to it as well. And in the description, you'll find the exchanges we trade on. These are trusted exchanges with top conditions, so go ahead and register. There's also a link here to the MEXC exchange, which I showed you today. So register on these exchanges and trade there. They offer the best trading conditions. As we've seen in this video, funding arbitrage is one of the safest and most low-risk strategies. Yes, the income is small, but it's risk-free. If you're interested in earning through crypto arbitrage, check out our previous videos and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next videos. Good luck to everyone. Goodbye, everyone.